But first, though, on the economic health of our country, let's get serious. We have become a nation of leaners, not leaders, and I hate to say that. We have continued to swamp the country with unprecedented numbers of migrants. We have workers relying on governments for their pay packets. That grows alarmingly. And a report out today should surprise but not shock anyone. The Centre for Independent Studies has found that more than half of Australian workers rely on one government or another, federal or state presumably, for most of their income. I mean, this is a combination of direct wages, government benefits or direct subsidies. I mean, half of people, half the nation. Now, economist Robert Carling has told Sky today that federal spending alone has now reached 27.6% of GDP. How can that be sustainable? 10 years ago, it was high enough. It was 24 to 25, still way too high. And according to that report, spending is driven largely by a small group of programs, including, surprise, surprise, the NDIS, aged care, Medicare and defence. NDIS is actually costing taxpayers more than what we spend on defence. How crazy is that? This year alone, $52 billion on the NDIS. Simply not sustainable. And does anyone in their right mind believe Labor is seriously going to rein those figures in? Defence spending is $51 billion and should be more. Simply put, we are spending like a bunch of drunken sailors, and there seems no willingness in Canberra or indeed in the states like Victoria to rein it in. Indeed, it seems the answer Labor has is to not stop spending, but, surprise, surprise, to raise taxes. Now, the roundtable in August, hosted by Jim Chalmers, will, I predict, do nothing to increase productivity, but is more likely to already have a raft of tax increases designed by Treasury and ready to be wheeled out. Now, think about that. A Labor government 3 months in, with 3 years and almost certainly 6 years to go, given their majority, will be sorely tempted to wheel out the bad news early on. Governments always do that. I mean, when you get elected, get out the bad news before you get close to an election. Australians with super investments, real estate investments and the like, that will be likely the targets. Even leaked Treasury briefings talk about finding, quote, additional revenue. I mean, that's not code. That's a direct and pointed suggestion that your taxes must go up. At the end of question time, one Labor leader in the House, Tony Burke, wrapped things up, bragging about how Labor will spend your money.
Today, because the government is Labor, we have started the pathway for 20% off student debt. We will go on with legislation to make sure that penalty rates for workers are guaranteed. That will happen because the government is Labor. We will continue to have tax cuts for every taxpayer because the government is Labor. There'll be more free GP visits because the government is Labor. There'll be even cheaper medicines because the government is Labor.
Doesn't sound much like spending cuts to me, and I don't think it would to you either. And of course, the Minister in charge of climate change, Chris Bowen, well, he couldn't resist continuing his crazy uncle act that we saw in the last Parliament.
The new dream team, the dream couple, the member for New England, the member for Riverina are out there this morning backing each other in. The member for Riverina said on the Kieran Gilbert show, we're virile and we're out there, he said. The member for New England and the member for Riverina. Now, this is not his Tinder profile. This is his dream ticket. This is his dream ticket. He's not looking to swipe right. He's looking to swipe out the member for Maranoa, Mr Speaker, is what he's trying to do. But they're trying to betray the member for Maranoa, but what they're really doing is betraying people in rural and regional Australia.
As I said, the crazy uncle. Now, one thing that did stand out for me, and I'll get Richo and Michael's opinion on this in a moment, the number of times the Prime Minister in question time addressed his own side, looking backwards off mic, rather than eyeballing the opposition, giving a signal, I believe, that he doesn't really rate them.
Australia participates in exercises in the South China Sea, in the region, in a consistent way, not just Australia. And at the same time, of course, our Talisman Sabre exercises were occurring, but we regularly participate, and not just as a nation state, but we participate as well with our ally in the United States.
Talking to his own front bench. Now, for the opposition, I tell you what, it's going to be a long 3 possibly 6 years.